Last time on Create Sky Colonies, I got started on building out infrastructure with the eventual goal of automating factory gauges. This included setting up things like access points, pressing modules, mixing modules, kidnapping people, building out crafting modules, and handcrafting a ton of factory gauges so that we could make a factory gauge board that then automates those factory gauges. And in this episode, I had an ultimate goal of automating every single thing in the Create mod, and yes, I know it's episode 5. In order to do that though, we needed to make a few more modules, including a deploying module, sawing module. We took a quick break to build a beautiful elevator and a really cool and smart elevator gate system that only comes back down once the elevator is up to prevent, you know, accidents. And then we were officially able to get started on building out our factory gauge board, which turned out incredibly. So I hope you all enjoy this episode. Be sure to subscribe, gamers and gamettes. Welcome back to another episode of Create Sky Colonies. Charlie has done a little bit of beautifying, and thank goodness, because I cannot build. We are going to do some building today, and I'm hopefully going to make things look pretty, but Charlie did a little bit in here in between episodes, which I really do appreciate, and we have gotten enough precision mechanisms. This is empty. But as you can see, there's no packager or frog port on it because I forgot that it was there, and that caused some backups. Check out Charlie's video if you didn't see it. It came out today on Friday, so I think it's episode 17 somehow, and you're watching episode 5, so killer. But we have quite a lot of work to do in this episode, and we're probably not gonna get to everything on my to-do list, but I think the first to-do list is fixing our precision mechanisms, and then we can check out our factory gauge board, because I hope and suspect everything's going to be green, golden, and ready for us to use. And of course, we don't have any packagers or these. Oh, and I got a little bit of a sneak peek. We have 375 stock links, which means, yeah, we definitely have enough stock links now. Thank goodness. The next things that I'm going to want to build are more frog ports and packagers automatically, because we need, evidently, a ton of those. Oh my goodness. It looks epic though from down here. Oh, I didn't even see these placards for each item that's in here. This is really nice. This is really nice. I would never have thought of that. I would have left it looking ugly the rest of the season because I don't have any thinking in my brain. All right, so we have our packager in now. I'm just trying to find out the best way to power it, because we could obviously just do this and that would work, but I don't know how much I like having it right here. I guess we could still access this barrel if we really need to, and we shouldn't need to. And that is pretty tucked away. So I'm okay with this. I do want to, however, replace this with some andesite casing just to make it a bit more consistent. But there we go. That little section is done. I've also added just some chain conveyors up here so that we can connect the stuff, but that should be good. Let's head over. Oh, actually, this way is going to be faster. Through here, through our magical tube of magicalness. And I may want to do some MineColonies stuff. I see that Charlie has been upgrading this. We need it to be one more level before we can actually interact with that and the Create mod. Oh, the factory's downstairs. And another thing I need to do is this elevator. This is bad, and Charlie wanted a bell, and I haven't made a bell, and I've just made a stupid little cube that looks stupid and ugly. We have factory gauges are good. Oh man, I've made a mistake here. This is expecting a pre-configured stock link, which obviously we can't do automatically. So we have to remake it with an unconfigured stock link so that it actually recognizes that they exist. And we're gonna also have to do this for factory gauges as well, since I also set that up with a configured one. And again, it's not gonna work. That's why we had 350 stock links in our storage without any showing up in the factory gauge originally. But now this should be working. I think this is a success. We can chalk this off as a W. Let's do some MineColonies stuff. Let's see, these guys are both building the sawmill and the hospital. I bet they're both sick. It might just be nighttime and they're in bed. I don't really know how these guys work. But I want them in this episode to upgrade this to level 4, which may mean we need to upgrade our builders' houses to level 4 as well. Because obviously, if it's level 3, it can't make a level 4 building. And it looks like, yeah, there's a chest for Kindle. Oh, I think these are more resources for our guy. And then a brass machination artifact with a gas tier on it. I think this is a slot, and it gives us regen. That's very nice, and has a gas tier. I think this is the same thing as our pickmatic thing. I think it's that same mod, but that's pretty nice. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know how to add a resource scroll to this. Oh, I need to sneak and use it to open it. Aha, there we go. And now, oh, we see our 2 new builders that Charlie made in his most recent episode. I think they're these ones. Yeah, the ones right there. So that's epic. We now have plenty of builders and hopefully plenty of time to do stuff. Why are these guys? What's your deal? Okay, Noel McDonald and Elizabeth are both in and around their houses. I think they're doing stuff. They're probably fine, but that does mean we can't build level 4 of this building yet because these two are the ones that even have a chance to be level 4. I don't even know if they are, but I'm pretty sure they're not. You are sick. I need hoe with minimum level wood or gold, maximum level diamond to continue working. I didn't know you were a drama queen, dude. No worries. Here is your diamond hoe. I have influenza? Bruh. All right, take that, please, and I will get you carrot potato for your influenza. How does everyone have the flu all the time? Oh my god, our other builder has the flu too. I can't believe it. I mean, even in the time I've been back, we've actually made a ton of progress in the colony. Let me rephrase that. Charlie has done a lot of stuff, and I have done very little. I've given people influenza cures of some little snackies. Don't worry, Noel and Elizabeth. Your influenza cures are here and upcoming. I do think one of them's building the hospital, which I think is that weird-looking building over there. So they once they get the hospital, they'll be able to cure themselves. But until then, I know you have influenza, you're gonna die, who cares? All right, no more influenza, please. Thank you so much. You too, Noel. Noel, you should be better. Heal yourself up and go build the hospital so that you don't have to do this again. Yeah, literally all of our guys have the flu. Oh, he's just sad? Oh no, he's green. Green plus, epic. Oh, I totally forgot why I went in here. We need to check to see what level these builders' huts are at. Let's see, yeah, so it's builder's hut level 3. So we need to upgrade this if we want to be able to upgrade our connecting to create mod building. If we want that to get up to level 4 and to be able to connect to the create mod, we need to upgrade these first. So maybe once those guys are done building whatever things they're building, we can have them upgrade it so that they can then upgrade this. Let's get on to the to-do lists for today. So MineColonies is going to be one. Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. You've started working on the hospital. MineColonies is going to be one. We'll have to put that on the back burner for now. I want to rebuild our elevator so that it's not a stupid little idiot one and instead is a cool bell. That'll probably also mean that this whole dealio is going to be changed. So I'm going to try to hit this and then run away. It worked. Incredible. All right, yeah, so I want to get this to the bottom because it'll be easier to build down there. And then I can disconnect it. Aha. And this should mean I can break these blocks. Yes. All right, so we're going to tear this down and fully rebuild it so that it looks like a bell. And it was at this point I needed to look up what a diving bell was. Charlie had told me that he wanted this to look like a diving bell, and I assumed that was like a ding 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 bell that you use to like warn divers about stuff. That is not the case. A diving bell is more of like a circular cage that divers sit in and it goes way down. So it's probably closer in shape to like one of those old-fashioned divers helmets, and they're pretty much all copper, and I did try to use some industrial iron, but it didn't work out very well. But as you can see here, we're basically making a sphere, and here we're adding in the create copycat blocks to just smooth out the sphere entirely. It was at this point I was trying to find the copycat bite, and I forgot what the name was. So I tried to do this like super little one, which obviously didn't work. And I tried like 4 or 5 times until eventually I brought a stone cutter down to just try a bunch of different ones, where I eventually found out that it was called a copycat bite, which we then used to smooth out the rest of the sphere, and there we go. Elevator is built. So we have a little bit of an entryway. I'm not super pleased with it just yet, but I hope I will be soon. The next step is going to be breaking this out and trying... Oh, actually, I think this is fine to keep. What I want to do... Where did my tuff go? How did I lose tuff? Oh, it's right here. Never mind. I was being a little bit dramatic. Sorry. But the goal, I want to have copper gates in the way here, and then maybe we do 2 high, and this will kind of act as a barrier when the lift isn't here. And then once it arrives, I've already tested this, so this does work. This will send out a power signal, so we can, with redstone, once that's powered, send a thing, let's go down here, to Gerald. Come on now, buddy. Oh, you can get out. There's a stairwell. There you go. Underneath here, if I make some more tough bricks, have ourselves a sticky mechanical piston that will pull this downward. The only issue is that we are going to need to dig into this, which I think is actually fine. we can still make it look good. So we're gonna have our sticky mechanical piston here. It needs to bring it down. How many blocks? What I ideally want to happen, and these are gonna be slabs, but I don't have the ability to do slabs yet. So this is gonna go down 1, 2 blocks so that it's here, and it's gonna be a slab. So it's going to act as a step up into our carriage. So we want to make it go down 2 blocks. So this is going to be 1, 2. So we need this here. And then underneath it, we can place our piston extension poles. We do need a way to power this. So let's do it from this side here. And most of the time, I feel like I am very pro speed. But in this case, I think it would make more sense for this to be slower and more dramatic. So I am going to do that. We need to dig this out a little bit more. I'm going to be using a big chonker of a water wheel. We can pop that in here and then water right there. And that is spinning. So how many? That's using 64. Okay, we can speed that up to more if we need to. I'm going to suspect we're going to need it to actually be slower. Let's take you away. And then do I have a button anywhere? Yes. Let's, oh, you know what? I think I need a lever. No problem at all. We literally have one. What? Oh. Right. Forgive me for forgetting exactly how the mechanical piston works. We need a clutch to invert the rotation, and then it'll be good. So I need to dig out even more space. So let's put this in. Again, speed this up. And lever on you. Huh? I need a gear shift, not a clutch. I'm an idiot. Okay, third try's the charm. Let's put that away. Lever. There we go. So what we should see when we get up there... Oh, right. Okay, hold on. Let me glue this together. Let's glue all of this together, and now let's try it. There we go. So it's gonna look something like that. You know what? Let's get our redstone, because this is going to happen. It's just, it doesn't look good. So we're gonna run a redstone line from this bad boy all the way this way. This is actually gonna need to be going the inverse direction. So let's do that. So that's what it looks like when it's closed, and then we can turn it on. That's cool. Yep, I'm a fan of that. Cool, so this is what it looks like when our diving bell is up here. I think it's cool. I'm a fan. I think it's cool. Now let's set up the requesting system. So let me go get a repeater, and then we can from here get our requests in. All right, so there we go. I think we should be able to button here, and this should power all 3 of those. Perfect. I'm gonna send you downstairs. And then that goes up right away. And then let's pretend, oh, hey, I wanna take the elevator. We can see it's coming up, it's coming up, it's coming up. Boom, opens. This is great. I am going to expand this platform a little bit, but then I think our elevator is good and it's looking good, which is the part that we care about. There we go. Our circle and circle platform now is ready to go. We, I suppose, can head downstairs and fix up what we have down here. So there's not a ton to fix up here. All we need is a way to request this. Since a lot of this area, I still don't really know what we're doing with it yet. We can remove this now and have a full flush system. Boom, and yeah, that should be everything. So what's the best way for requesting this elevator? We can probably just on either side here set up a button to press. And then we can easily move this. Nice, this has been moved and it still works, which means I did the right thing. And then over here, we can set up our button system and our other button. There we go. I think we can chalk up this to fully completed and fully working and looking pretty cool. I especially like how this comes down as this opens. I'm a big fan of that. Let's check in. Oh, we still have a lot of ways to go for all of these. We may not have this. Oh, we totally don't. Okay, let's go supply some dark oak logs and planks over to them, because I think that's one of the main things they're waiting on. And the good news, we can use our elevator. Haha! Huzzah! Nice. It's actually really quick too. It's so convenient. Gerald, don't you dare! Oh, you eepy little eepy baby, Gerald, little so eepy baby. Okay. Let's go grab some of the materials that they need for this hospital. And then once they're finished the hospital, we need them to upgrade their own build, and then we can upgrade this. And then once that is done, we can then connect that up with the standard create mod. So lots to do, but hopefully, and it may take 2 episodes or so, but hopefully we'll get the create mod hooked up with MineColonies, and that will make automation a ton easier. Everyone is COVID. Nova, wait, you're a builder, right? Oh no, you're not. You're poor and sad. Never mind, I don't care about you. We need to drop off these logs, and actually, I think make sure that our guys don't have the flu. I don't think they do. Okay, how many have I put in? Oh, maybe I need to bring this to the builder themselves? Is that the case? Gonna be honest, I have no idea. Oh, I can turn on my shaders again. I am a mess when it comes to remembering shaders. Whose house is this? I think Elizabeth is building the hospital, right? Yeah, Elizabeth. This is Elizabeth. Oh, I need 1,200 planks. How do you have enough storage space for your stuff? Is there more storage up here? Oh, there is. Oh, yeah, there's a ton more storage. Okay. Elizabeth is finally getting back to work after she slacked off and she got stuck on the door, which is fine. No need to worry, Elizabeth. Oh, good. You've started working on the hospital. It only took 40 years. Let's give you all the other things you need. There we go. That should be plenty, I'm hoping. Yeah, 62%. They can make stairs, barrels, more stairs, planks, more stairs, trapdoors, more stairs. We don't have enough dirt? Bruh. Okay, hold on. BRB. Yes, go Elizabeth. Work on that hospital. She's so brave. More dirt, more gravel. All right. Elizabeth, you should be good. While we're waiting on that, then, I want to get factory gauge stuff going. We have plenty of factory gauges now and plenty of already existing automations. I want to make as many as I can. And I think this will look best in a time lapse because, I mean, you've seen this at least twice, the amount of times I've done it. So it's probably not going to change too much. So, oh, I need to get the factory gauges. We should probably set up a way for packages to get down there at some point. But let's grab some factory gauges and try to automate as many, at least of the create mod stuff that we can. Because the sooner we get that done, the sooner I will be at least more ready to tackle some of the other things, like upgrading this or adding more modules or a bunch of other things. I have just gotten started on doing this, and then I remembered, oh boy, we don't have andesite casings or a machine to make andesite casings, which means pretty much everything that I have chosen here is something that we can't make right now, which isn't, you know, ideal. So before we do this, actually, let's get, I think casings is the last required one, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to get casing and sawing just so that we're more efficient, since obviously you can make 4 from dark oak logs to 4 dark oak planks, but if you saw it for stripped logs, you get 6. So it's ideal to saw it if you can. So I think we're going to make a sawing module and a casings module thing, and then we can get started on doing all this stuff. Charlie has just gotten on. He may want to talk with us, but I am over here near our brand new casings crafting farm, and I think it has already sent itself back out to storage. I want to test it though with something a little bit more niche, and that is rose quartz and the polished version of it specifically. All right, we have 8 rose quartz, since in order to make polished rose quartz, 1 sandpaper can be used for 8 rose quartz. So let's make 8 of those. We're going to send it to deployer, and we should see if we run on over there. It should get our rose quartz up in this top barrel here. It does. It's going to wait until it gets the other item as well, and then it's going to go into our repackager, onto our saw, and it's, I bet, done. Yeah, it's already going. Oh my gosh, it already finished, got sent out by the time I was halfway through talking. So what it does is it brings it onto the saw, which puts it onto this belt. This belt then goes into 2 tunnels, which splits it based on item. So I have basically everything that goes on the deploying part of the deployer. So that'll be everything up here. If you just scroll, it's a lot of axes and honeycombs, both of which ironically I didn't include, but like gold for Gildan Blackstone we could do. I've just set it to everything that can be deployed, and then everything that can be deployed, whatever's the inverse of that is. So I've just said everything here. If it's not this, then it goes here, which works out pretty well. And that then sends it back to storage, and our deploying works. And I know I said I was going to do a sawing thing. I think what we should do first is factory gauges, and then we can get to sawing, because everything that can be sawed can be crafted. So it's just efficiency. We can build it later. And I've run out of a lot of materials, so I need to craft more stuff. And I can't be bothered with these toolboxes. Now let's get into a full automation time lapse of setting up all these factory gauges. I'm gonna first walk you through how to set them up in case you don't know how to, or in case you're confused, because it is a helpful lesson to learn on how these things work. Oh my goodness, he has been grinding. I left for maybe 6 hours. This looks sick. This is epic. Oh man, wait, this is so nice. Oh, this is, I was going to, for the rest of the season, do what I was doing with scaffolding. and just like building up occasionally. This is real nice. Oh man, we got a full wall. This is sick. Dang, it's actually so easy to make it look cool and industrial, and I would never have thought of it. Copycat fluid pipes with blocks of electrum in them. Blocks of electrum light up? Okay. Okay. This is a sick build. And our little diving bell in the middle is actually kind of cool. I'm plenty happy with it. Well, let's get to building out some of these factory gauges. The stuff up here was what I needed for all of our andesite casings. But now I think we can make them. So we can set this to deployer, 4 stacks. Let's do it for all of them. Why commit lightly when you can commit too hard and crash and burn? Seems perfect in my mind. All right, so let's remove this. Let's pretend I want to get and automate gearboxes. What we can do is search up gearbox in JEI, and then we can, as you see, we hover over it, and it highlighted this square green. That means we can just drag and drop our gearbox into here and press the check mark. Then you'll see it should update. If it's not updating, make sure your factory gauges and stuff are paired to the same signal, the frequency, I suppose, as whatever stock link is connected to your storage. Otherwise, none of this will ever show up. But what we can do, if we single right click on it, if you right click and hold, it'll bring this up. We're going to do that at the end. But if you single right click on it, you can see this menu. Let's walk through it. So this is going to be the output of whatever thing you're automating. For us, this is going to be crafting, and it's going to be small cogs, and I think andesite casing, if I'm not mistaken. And then once we've built that, we can see that a new button up here has popped up saying use mechanical crafting. This means that the crafting recipe is able to be made with these 2 items. If we remove one of them, obviously this disappears because you can't make gearboxes with just cogwheels. So now that these are both here, we can click use mechanical crafting and it'll set up the crafting thing for us. You have to click this if you're using crafting, and then we're going to set it to crafter. There we go. That's all we need to do. We can now increase this to get 2 stacks of those. And then we're going to do the same thing here, etc., etc. So it's all just, hey, I want to make these. What are the sub ingredients? Nuggets and casings. When that happens, what's the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and you just keep going. So that's what we're going to be doing here. Let's time lapse this and make it pretty and beautiful, because I mean, this looks sick, but let's get going. So we started our factory gauge board with kind of the base ingredients. So that included redstone, lapis, amethyst. The replay mod didn't work? Of course it did. Why was it gonna do that? Why would it just work? Why would it just work normally when it would crash, and that would be funnier, right? That would be better. Anyway, we're done. What you see behind me is about 6 hours of placing down factory gauges and over 300 factory gauges. And I'm going to turn off my shaders so that you can see, and it'll be bright enough for you to be able to see. But this is everything that I've placed in over the past day and a half. A lot of stuff. A lot of really cool things. Some of them, not most, I cannot say most. Some of the things have already been completed, like a lot of our copper and stuff has been done. Our redstone, not so much, we don't have any. And the things that require brass, also, we don't have. But we do have the ability to get cool stuff, I guess. We have our hypertube stuff, the thing that Charlie wants to work on here, which we can make once we get more brass. The only issue is that we don't have brass, and we don't have brass because we don't have an infinite lava source. Another thing we don't have is haunting, smelting, washing, smoking, and basically everything else. So these things we can't really make. We can't make stone, we can't make smooth stone. Honestly, that's kind of fine. The other thing we can't make, though, is anything that requires crushing, since we don't have set up crushing wheels, and that includes our redstone and stuff, which is a pretty big bottleneck. So we are going to want to make that soon-ish. But let's walk through everything that I have built and automated, starting from the top left here, which is most of our like basic create stuff and like vanilla stuff. So we're automating all of the create doors, a bunch of miscellaneous blocks like normal vanilla stuff. We have our create items up top here, which is going to be useful. And then we have our valuables in the center here. I think this is all of them. I may have gotten or missed a few. Coal is one of them. I don't really know if it's considered a valuable, but I threw that down here because I forgot about it. And then way down here, we have our create redstone and things that need, I don't even know what these are called, electron tubes. We have most of those down here. So this is vanilla and create redstone bits. These are the create mod things that require electron tubes, and then we have our rails, we have our fluid things, so most of the things that use copper. We have a lot of the things that use precision mechanisms here. We have just some more miscellaneous stuff right here. Slime balls alone by themselves. We have create 6, so packagers, frog ports, all the stuff that requires to make them. We have our blaze burners, which are a little bit weird to make, but we can automate them so that are here. and then our default kind of normal andesite age stuff in this big old block. We also have another big old block up here for most of our shafts, gearboxes, and then other modded shafts and gearboxes are like over here. I don't really know what any of them do. I haven't used them, but they're there. And then up top there, random stuff. Let's head up and see, because it's kind of hard to tell. But we have like water wheels, windmill bearings, mechanical bearings, rope pulleys, pulley pulleys, elevator pulleys, everything. Over on this side, and this is actually something I learned, we cannot connect things these far away. So if I run over to here and try to connect something, it just fully disappears. So there is a limit to how far we can connect stuff. So I'm thinking over here are going to be our more one-off type systems. So let's head up there and we can show you some of them. I've already done some with automating pulp for every sapling type, because I mean, we might as well just use every sapling that we can to make any bit of pulp. We have our these are our mining things that Charlie has mostly been working on. But in order to get, actually, let's do diamonds since that's a little bit more important. In order to get diamonds, we need to be able to mine them with a drilling machine. Most of the time, the drilling machine will make a raw diamond and has a 10% chance of a diamond. But a raw diamond can be processed with lava into a heated raw diamond, which can be washed, which can be sawed, which can be pressed, which can be sandpapered into a real diamond. So that's this whole process that we're going through right here. And then we have a very similar thing for netherite, which we have not gotten to yet, and emerald, which is probably overkill because I mean we have auto villager trading. So if we click on emerald, we can go over to here to villager trading, and I mean there's 40 ways to get emeralds, and we have an iron farm, so it'll be easy to get those. But this is just another option if we wanted to do that. We have our obsidian and stuff. I haven't built out any of our train things because a lot of them require, I guess all of them require sturdy sheets, which we don't have a lot of. And then we have our mobs, and then our drilling machines, which are complicated to make. We need standalone crafters for all of these, so it's going to take a while before we get to these four, but they're there for us to use at some point. We then have like dyes and bone meal and stuff down there. But I think that's the full tour. This thing is massive, and I think we could turn back on our shaders so that it looks cool while we look at stuff. But this is the factory gauge board. This thing is absolutely insane and is done for right now, part one. I have already checked with the supply huts for things that they may need. One of the ones is prismarine and such, which we don't have an automated way to get just yet, at least consistently automated. In order to get prismarine, we can haunt lapis, which is actually pretty nice. But in order to get lapis, we need either a drilling machine or to trade with villagers, at least from what I can see, which is not easily doable right now. So for prismarine, we're going to need to wait to automate. I have thrown in up top there 2 prismarine things that we can at least get started on those when we're ready. But for the right now, we can't even do that. I have also started upgrading our builders huts to level 4, which is really great. They have most of their supplies, but they still haven't started building it. So we're gonna have to wait until next episode to finish that off. And unfortunately, this is gonna be all the time I have for this episode. In the next one, we are going to fix our brass issue. As you've seen, we do not have any brass making right now. So we're gonna need to get that. And while we're waiting, I will continue feeding the machine more redstone with our manual crushing wheels that we have. But yeah, that'll all come later, so stay tuned for next episode. If you haven't subscribed, be sure you do, because I'm gonna keep posting videos, believe it or not. And it's best to just be subscribed. You'll get notifications, turn on notifications if you want those. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this one. So be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.